Hi, my name is Lawrence Feinberg, and I'm a U.S. and Danish citizen, and I've been living in Copenhagen, Denmark for about 30 years. And in that 30 years, I've flown many, many times between Denmark and the United States. Right now, I'm here visiting my 83-year-old mother and spending Thanksgiving. And I want to say to you, the CEO of American Airlines, and to anybody who wants to fly American Airlines or fly on an American Airlines ticket, this is a warning. To you, the CEO of American Airlines, I think you should sometime go an undercover boss because the situation in your airline is terrible. Anyway, let me start from the beginning. I bought an American Airlines ticket to fly here on the 12th of November from Copenhagen, London Heathrow to Las Vegas. My problem began when I tried to call your so-called customer service that is obviously outsourced to I don't know what country because the people on your customer service or in your customer service, their English was quite bad. And I was asking some questions about changing my return date and other questions, and they couldn't answer that. In fact, it was so bad that when I asked for my frequent flyer number to be found, my American Airlines frequent flyer number, it was found and it was put in. And when I got to the airport, I found out it was the wrong number that they put in. I subsequently found my own number on my email later. Okay, be that as it may, I got the right number put in. Then the nightmare sort of began in Heathrow Airport. Heathrow Airport itself is a nightmare. That's not your fault, American Airlines. That's your customer service fault. It's your customer service who couldn't answer the questions. But Heathrow Airport is Heathrow Airport. However, you at American Airlines gave me 1 hour and 15 minutes to change flights when I landed in Heathrow with my flight from Copenhagen on going to the U.S. I have Parkinson's disease, and I can't run because I'll fall. And 1 hour and 15 minutes is not only not enough time for a person like me, it's not enough time for a healthy, normal, healthy young man to change flights. I met a guy from Denmark, a healthy young guy, much younger than myself, who had 2 hours to change flights in Heathrow, and he was barely able to make it. So that was your first mistake, giving me too little time, or giving people too little time to change flights in Heathrow. The flight itself was on a British Airlines aircraft, which was quite nice. And in fact, I might add that when I called British Airlines customer service, they spoke English, they spoke fine English, they were polite, they were courteous, they were as helpful as they could be because it was on an American Airlines ticket I was flying. And the funny thing is when the people at the British Airlines customer service tried to ask questions to the American Airlines customer service, they couldn't get an answer either. And if your partners can't get an answer, how could I? Anyway, continuing. I arrived with my flight to Los Angeles on the 12th of November. The flight was 45 minutes late. That's no fault of American. But what is American's fault is my bag didn't show up in Los Angeles. And I wanted to make a baggage report right there because I was already really, really tired. The trip is really, really long. And I thought, let me make a report in LA and get this over with. There was one woman who was standing at the carousel. Remember, this is in the customs area, so I would have had to have taken my baggage through customs, which is fine. And I made the report to her, but she wouldn't take the report. She only told me that my bag was still in Heathrow. And I asked her, who could I see in LA to get this report over with? And she said, nobody. You have to wait until you get to Las Vegas, which was my final destination. Great. I would arrive in Las Vegas after midnight, wrecked tired, with no bag, and then I could make my report. Then I got out of the customs area, and I had very little time to catch my ongoing flight because, of course, I had to go through customs, and I had to wait for until everybody's bag was off the flight, and it was an and Airbus, so that took quite long. Um, and then I had hardly any time to find out where my flight was. When I tried to ask you American Airlines personnel in Los Angeles, they were rude and nasty and didn't tell me anything. Finally, I found out myself that it was in my ongoing flight to Las Vegas was in Terminal 5, even though everybody kept on telling me it was in Terminal 4. So I ran as fast as I could with the risk of falling, again, because I have Parkinson's disease. Then I made the flight because luckily the flight was late, or unluckily, and it was very late because they were waiting for a cabin crew member to arrive who never arrived anyway. And the flight took off. It was quite full. They turned off all the lights. You couldn't even get a drink of water on that flight, even though it was a short flight. It's still a long flight for me because this was after flying for many hours and being awake for many hours. Finally, I get to Las Vegas to make my baggage complaint report, that my bag wasn't arrived. Las Vegas. And in Las Vegas, the people who took my report, first they told me it was in Heathrow, in London. Then they told me it was in Los Angeles. And I got happy when I heard it was in Los Angeles. But then I called the next day, because if it was in Los Angeles, I expected it to be delivered to my hotel, which was the Flamingo Hotel, the next day. Turns out my bag was not in Los Angeles. It was still in London Heathrow. I asked for some kind of compensation so I could get some fresh clothes or something until my bag arrived. And they offered me that I could use my own money and then get it reimbursed later. Now, would you use your own money when on the word of an airline that I would get it back that had just been rude to me in Los Angeles, rude and crude to me in Los Angeles, had just told me that my bag was in Heathrow and then took that back and said it was in Los Angeles, then told me it was not in Los Angeles anyway? Sorry, American Airlines, I didn't trust you. I didn't trust you anymore. I was not going to use my money on the off chance that I might get it back from you guys. Anyway, as you could see, I'm very upset about this experience. It was the worst experience that I had in 30 years of flying in between Europe and the U.S. And this is on you, American Airlines. To Doug, the CEO of American Airlines, I strongly suggest that you do an Undercover Boss episode so you could see how bad your airline operates. And to anybody in Europe or the US, I suggest that if you have a choice, you stay away from American Airlines as much as you can. I found their personnel to be rude, to be unhelpful, and the customer service to be under all criticism because of the language, the semi-language barrier there is, and the lack of answering questions. And honestly, I'm still in the U.S., and if anybody in American Airlines wants to help me out or talk to me, you're welcome to call me. I have a phone number while I'm here before I go back to Denmark, and that is area code 520-225-7949. That's 520-225-7949. And I thank you very much to listen to this. I hope the CEO of American Airlines is listening, Mr. Doug Parker. I hope you personnel at American Airlines are listening. And the only bright spot in all of this was a woman in the baggage service, the baggage complaint office in Las Vegas. Her name is Pam. I'm sorry I don't know Pam's last name, but as the only nice person or semi-helpful person in American Airlines, I want to give thanks for her, say thank you to her, and I appreciate the help she tried to give me, but couldn't give me because of American Airlines rules. And to everybody else in American Airlines, I'm sorry, but you've got to find a way to do it better. And again, Mr. Doug Parker, you've got to do an episode of Undercover Boss please, everybody, pay a little bit more and fly with another airline. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. And happy Thanksgiving to everybody except those on American Airlines. And you, Pam, from American Airlines, Thanksgiving to you. Thank you. Bye.